Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a on-the-road edition of Marvel Contest Champions News. Unfortunately, the normal way that I edit and produce these videos, especially from how I deal on the road, means that I cannot edit it in a certain way. So it's going to be, unfortunately, done in a one take. So yeah, I'll try and use the YouTube editor if I make any mistakes. But look, let's just try and roll with it and see what happens and try and make this as timely as possible. And unfortunately, I would have liked this to come out a couple hours ago, especially with a lot of new stuff that may be. I'm not saying I don't know if anything being announced, but there could be something announced, usually at 6 p.m. So again, don't know what time this video will be seen. Don't know how good the upload is here in this hotel. The download is just so bad, but you know, we are in the middle of nowhere. However, though, let's go over some stuff of the last 48 hours and the crystal update. This is something that I've seen a lot of difference of opinions on the matter of chance. Chance being with, does this interrupt the chance of getting something like a featured champion as a 6-star, especially with how some of the percentages break down? I mean, my kind of opinion just off the top of this is that this seems to me is like Kabam trying to spice up something that, look, if you're a whale, you're a whale. Games have microcurrencies. They have things to buy in game. This is not unusual. All mobile games in the future will probably have this. There's somebody that wants to make a profit from it. It's how it happens. I don't know if they will ever change, but that's like saying like, okay, let's change the wheel now. Let's make it a square wheel. But you know, we live and learn. A AAA mobile game. No, I've not heard of that before. But we'll live and learn with that. But in any case, look. You got chances, and the chances are broken down on screen at the moment. The biggest one, I think, comes from the Cavalier Crystal. There are people out there that wail out on these crystals. I myself will be doing some next week. I want to get Apocalypse, and I want to get Professor X. I do not have the time to grind it excessively in Arena. And as well, you know, I'll spend this month, but I may not spend for the next couple months. We've got Cyber Weekend coming up. But look, there are free-to-play people in this game. There are non-free-to-play people in this game. Every game needs both types of people, especially those that are willing to grind, and as well those that are willing to spend. So yeah, does this mean any kind of great difference to the likes of Seaton spinning crystals? Maybe it's the case that, okay, he gets a 6-star Nexus and that's great. But as well, the kind of argument between the point of how this works from a chance perspective. I've seen many people talk about the aspect of, okay, rolling of the dice based on this 1% stuff. So saying, right, out of 1% of getting a 6-star from a Cavalier Crystal, then it's 0.2% chance to get a 6-star Nexus. But here's the thing with that particular thing. Where does the other 0.8% go? And that's the big thing I think a lot of players seem to be questioning is, right, well, of me getting a 6-star champion, is it now 0.8% chance of that getting, say, the 6-star in general, the feature, the 6-star itself? And then an additional, right, you're spinning for the 0.2. So am I spinning the crystal for a 0.8 chance of A, or am I spinning it 0.2% chance for a B? Or am I spinning, as it states here, for a 1% chance at a 6-star champion across the board, regardless of the 6-star Nexus? And that's where a lot of people kind of fall with this. Now, I don't care about the mathematics of it. Especially when it comes to a point of everybody falling out. I've put like a link to a forum post in the description, and there's a lot of people kind of falling out on the matter. People that are kind of but kind of like they're getting annoyed at the state of this being put in, because they feel that this is balancing too much towards the right. Well, it's 0.8 and 0.2 I'm rolling for, as opposed to the 1% which Kabam are advertising. Either way, I'm not going to get into that debate, as that's something that there's too many different sides. And does Kabam need to fully explain this? I don't know if they need to explain this. To be honest, I don't even think we needed it. It's one of these things where I personally feel, why is this here? Is this just to add some kind of extra added bit of spice to it? Am I personally going to see one in my MCOC career, so my lifetime of the career? No. Is it going to add something of interest to maybe shard crystals? Of course. I'm not quite sure if this is being added to the shards. It doesn't read so much that it is being added to, like, say, if you go to the shard section, it breaks down that it's added to it. This seems more to like the ones that you buy with units. But if it's the one with units and not the ones with shards, then that would be completely ridiculous. And I just kind of well, weep for the world if that was the case. But yeah, I'm not going to go on too much about that. There's other things to just quickly go over in this news edition. Right, so at the moment, targets-wise, and I don't know if this is on screen because, well, you know, I'm trying to run off something that's not really working properly. See, here's the thing, technology not working as intended, so I can't really see what's on screen too well at the moment. But it should be a case you should see the targets. New targets will go live in a moment. I've probably put in either the description or I've put in the pinned comment what the current targets are. And yeah, the current few days, you can go and pick up the Fights Against Champion on September 19th. The September 20th is those who are shiny and chrome. So that is the first quest, and then you'll be fighting a little vision. He's got a shiny head, good for him. But yeah, those are what. Go to Marvel True Cost. You'll be able to find the most up-to-date stuff. As I said, I'll try and put it in the pinned comment or at least in the description down below. Sticking with funny enough, on screen at the moment, it looks like I prepared adequately to say, look, there's Vision. Check him out. Right, White Magneto. Yes, the House of X version. There's a prowess problem. It looks like prowess. Just seems to be not building correctly, especially with what's been advertised in the past. Links are in the description to a forum post. There's been more a push to add more information to this particular one. Seaton's video showcasing the particular prowess in question. Maybe that's from the content creator beta or the beta in general, showing it working as intended, but it's not. More information has been asked to be provided, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of answer from Kabam on the subject, and we'll have to wait and see if there's anything in particular in the future. I'll try and keep you updated. Okay, now on to Old Man Logan's bleed reduction. Now, back in November 2019 or 2019 in general, I think when the champion was buffed, there was an issue with the extent of how he dealt with Blade. And Blade, if I can speak properly, bleed is a bit of an issue with this champion. So he's got some of his abilities to reduce down the extent of bleed coming in. I don't know if this was dealt with or ignored. Either way, it's a case. It feels like it is that. And when I've been playing with Old Man Logan in general recently, there seems to be like a bit of an issue with the bleed reduction itself. There's an old forum thread that's been boosted to relevancy again, but I don't know if anybody else is experiencing a problem. Just something I've come across. I don't know if anybody else has come across that as well. Now on to the Summoner Showdown. Now round 2 went very well for a few people, in particular Husky Nash, Quatch Pete, and Apto. Now here's the thing, right? There seems to be a bit of an issue at the moment from when the quest was tipped to end, and how the say time switched over. Now currently, and I don't know if this is you can see this on the screen or not, but Legacy is number 1 in America, and then over in Europe and Russia we've got Kurokoro 06, and finally in Asia and Oceania we've got PD 2213. Now you would have noticed that the quest has been removed from the game, which does strike as a bit of a problem, especially with the time of when this was meant to be finishing. And a lot of players have come out to say, look, you know, what's the deal with this? Why is it ended early? Well, they've actually done this before. I was contacted by a couple of people to say, look, you know, they wanted to make a last-ditch attempt, and it was removed. That's right, it was removed, or not removed. Sorry, the time, kind of the time had gone for that particular thing, and that round 2 was like none and void for people to give another go at it. And the same thing seems to happen now. So it looks like if you haven't done in a score that you maybe thought was last minute, these people by default would be keeping their same times and as well positions. So yeah, if you plan to do a last minute attempt in order to, like, you know, take Legacy off of the Americas, take Kurokoro off of the number 1 spot, and take PD 2213 off the top spot, you would not be able to do that if you're one of those you know, really competitive players and, you know, obviously doing very well. So that's disappointing, because that does eliminate the kind of the idea of that last ditch tip, that kind of like massive kind of like win out of nowhere, which I do like those underdog stories. That are so cool. So yeah, bit disappointed with this. I'm also so far looking like my prediction for the Summoner Showdown 2020 is going to be on point. So if indeed Legacy gets in, and as I said, my prediction is no MCOC YouTubers will win the Summoner Showdown 2020, but one MCOC YouTuber will get into the semi-finals. Currently, that is going to be the best prediction of this particular tournament. Especially, there was a lot of peacocking and posturing, I think, to begin with, But you know, it's a case. This has been one of those meh kind of like tournaments, and unfortunately, stuff like this does show it to be the case. Now, I think that's concluded a lot of the stories and information and things I was going to cover in this edition of Marvel Contest Champions News. I'm in a hotel somewhere. Got a lot to get done this week. There's scheduled content coming out on the channel, so it's not going to be the most, let's say spiciest of content, but still, it's good enough. It's going to be back on Wednesday with the normal kind of studio setup, and then on Thursday, you got the big video. 6 stars. I haven't recorded it yet, as I want to record it when the time is right, and as well with something that looks good, and it's like, you know, the quality's back on the channel as well. Also, I'm just having a quick look now to see if there's anything that's been dropped information-wise. Doesn't seem like there's been anything in particular, and if there is something, I'll need to deep dive it and research it a bit more, especially on the subject of, you know, literally like what is going on. There's been no update from Kabam on like why things ended sooner with the Summoner Showdown, if indeed they would own up to that being an issue. And as well, there's been nothing about next month. Do bear in mind, this is a longer month than normal, so you're probably not going to see any kind of announcements until next week. Kabam haven't even given stuff when it comes to release notes to the CCP. So, yeah, like it is what it is. If you want more information about that stuff, keep locked to the channel. Make sure to put post notifications on all, and as well, support some of the other content that's going to be coming out. It's going to be crystal openings, but still, you know, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye, everybody.